YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back in Total War Warhammer 2, and we have a great battle for you tonight. When I say we, I guess I mean me, but really both players here. Yes, and as you heard, Settra rules. We will see, at least. So we have Tomb Kings versus Avalorn. So the Tomb Kings, led by Settra the Imperishable, and he is on his... what is it? A War Sphinx? What? How? I have not played enough. I have not played enough Tomb Kings recently. Holy crap, man! I just gone blank. Doesn't happen to me very often. I usually can't shut my mouth. Anyway, so Tomb Kings have some Necropolis Knights with halberds, some Chosen of the Gods. There's a Necrotech supporting these constructs. It's a nice pick. And then there's 3 skeleton archers, one of which is the Blessed Legion. There are 4 spearmen, one of which is the King's Scorpion Legion. And then we have a Tomb Guard with halberds. Over here are 2 Carrion, and they are luring Alarielle the Radiant and a Star Dragon. And then for the forces of Avalorn here in the center, we have the Scions of Mathlan, some spearmen, Treeken, 3 units of Sea Guard with shields, which definitely gives them some superior skirmishing power, at least if you're not counting the Ushabti with Great Bow. There are 3 White Lions in the forest, one of which is the Pure Main Company. They are being snuck in from the flank, so let's watch the engagement here as Avalorn closes the distance between themselves and the forces, or the legions, of the Tomb Kings. You can see the Ushabti are raining death all over the Lothern Sea Guard. These skeleton spearmen will be nice fodder units, as they have better melee defense than typical skeletons. But they're certainly not going to be able to kill high elf spearmen. They have too much melee defense. The Treeken I like. It's a tanky unit. They won't do a ton of damage, but they'll tank and help hold up a line, and that's pretty much what you want. Alarielle and the Star Dragon moving in, and they're kind of just ignoring the Carrion, because I think they know that if they get caught up with it, that the archers will be able to do their work. The Carrion here actually being supremely annoying in this particular case. Alarielle is over here trying to provide some support to her troops in the center. You can see that Settra, the Imperishable, pulling through to get to the Lothern Sea Guard, who are taking a beating at the hands of the Chosen of the Gods. Alarielle lays down a Banish here, but it's not going to do a ton of damage. It'll get some done. She's going to jump in and help get rid of this Carrion, so she can free herself and her Star Dragon up, because that's a significant investment, and they need it to do the damage. Here comes some Necropolis Knights with halberds. These units will be helpful against the Treeken, but they'll also want to keep themselves free in case the Dragon and Alarielle come down to pay a visit on the ground, because this will be one of the best units that the Tomb Kings have available to deal with that. See here the Carrion acting very, very nice as fodder here, keeping these 2 units busy for a long time and giving the Tomb Kings the best chance possible, honestly. The White Lions now start to come out of the woods. I like how they were kind of kept until the battle started. You can see that the Pure Main Company already ripping through a skeleton, and these White Lions going to get into the Blessed Legion. But the White Lions here have taken a beating from the Chosen of the Gods, who already have 102 kills, and they're not done yet. Here comes the Incantation of Desiccation, so the Tomb Guard are going to actually mop the floor with this White Lion, at least for the time being. Alarielle gets down to take care of some of the archers, and the Star Dragon dives on in, looking to get a hold of the Chosen of the Gods, I believe. But the Necropolis Knights with halberds are close by. This becomes a dangerous scenario for Avalorn here, and there's healing here, the 3rd tier for the Realm of Souls and the Tomb Kings, so the Tomb Kings infantry will be getting a second wind, so to speak, here. And they can summon an Ushabti as well. I have not seen that summon just yet. Yeah, you can see a lot of units here trying to pin the dragon down. Settra choosing to operate against the infantry, which is a good choice. Alarielle is not a direct threat to him, and if the Star Dragon is busy, then honestly that's really the main threat against Settra at this point. You can see the Star Dragon trying desperately to get away from this fight. Alarielle fighting off Carrion in the air, and the Star Dragon will not be able to free itself from this. You can try, but it's going to take a lot of damage in the process. One of the White Lions able to re-engage here. Tomb Guard gets hit in the back, but that is still going to be a tough unit for these White Lions to take down. White Lions, to me, are pretty underwhelming. They have occasions where they can do decent, but I'm not real great with them. Cool looking units, but I'm not a big fan of their stats the way it stands. I don't think they turn out to be very useful very often. See again the dragon trying desperately to get away over here, but it's not working. Meanwhile, Avalorn fights on desperately. The summoned Ushabti manages to get a hold of the Lothern Sea Guards with shields. They take a ton of damage, and they slowly crumble as it is. The Puremain Company decides to try and get a piece of the Blessed of the Gods. Settra is nearby for support. This could be a fool's errand, but this Blessed of the Gods definitely needs to be removed from the battlefield, and the Puremain Company does have the armor-piercing damage needed. But Ushabti have armor-piercing damage of their own in melee, and will be dealing quite a bit back. Meanwhile, out here, Alarielle dives in to help fight the Necropolis Knights, and she's going to drop a Star of Avalorn here. How beautiful is this game? Whew, looks good. So Alarielle putting the healing in here, keeping her dragon alive, and that Star of Avalorn negates a bunch of damage off the Necropolis Knights and then actually turns the fight against them. So what looked very favorable for the Tomb Kings, now turning sour against them. And look at the Treeken up here. These guys have taken a lot of beating. They are just still ticking. The Treeken doing an amazing job of sticking in this fight, regardless of the odds against them right now. So pretty impressive performance. Chosen of the Gods is firing again despite the attacks of the White Lions. They did manage to survive, and this Tomb Guard has done a pretty spectacular job. Going to start taking on the Scions of Mathlen. Again, should still be able to do well, but there are these Lothern Sea Guard with a little bit of ammo left. Looks like Settra may come over to try and KO the Treeken. I don't think the Treeken will do a ton of damage to Settra, but he won't kill them terribly quick either, I don't think. They're well armored, they're tanky units. They've got some physical resistance, and that's part of what makes them so tanky. 20% physical resistance, 15% missile resistance. They are weak to fire, but I'm not sure that the Tomb Kings are packing any flaming attacks here. Star Dragon is free, as is Alarielle, and the Star Dragon is up over 2,000 hit points, though Alarielle will not have much magic left based on the spells we've seen. Over here, the Lothern Sea Guard already at 136 kills. Gonna pick up a few more very important kills on this Tomb Guard. Nice breath attack from the dragon here, trying to render the Scorpion Legion ineffective. Dragons racked up 77 kills. The Scions of Mathlen give way as they are overwhelmed here. Potentially could come back, depends on whether they get chased. Back here, the Puremain Company is routed again. Chosen of the Gods has dealt with them twice, and the Chosen of the Gods is going to continue to deal with these White Lions. Their armor-piercing damage should help them get the job done. It's going to be a close fight nonetheless. Oof, very close. It's a close fight altogether. At this point, neither player has a great answer for each other per se. The Star Dragon can do tons of damage to Settra, but it's low. Alarielle, although she can't be caught by Settra, will struggle to do a ton of damage to him. If they do that type of thing where they're going for quick damage, it'll be safer. Over here, though, the Treeken, lasting this whole battle, putting up an incredible effort, ridding themselves of the Scorpion Legion. And at this point, it looks like the Chosen of the Gods did finally fall to the White Lions, who barely survived said engagement. The Scions of Mathlen routing again, and the Lothern Sea Guards routing. There's still a Necrotect and Tomb Guard. That's a shatter on the Puremain Company. And Alarielle appears to be charging straight for Settra. Comes the breath attack. partially connects and gets some damage done. It did not get Alarielle, which is good for the elves, but here comes the Tomb Guard to protect their king. And these Tomb Guard with halberds are going to dish out some painful damage in the late game. Not a unit that the elves would probably prefer to be facing right now. Here comes the Treeken, though. Their physical resistance will give them some help in this fight, some much needed help, and the Necrotech is being assaulted by the Star Dragon, while Settra is kept busy here. This combination of Spearmen and Treeken will be kind of difficult for the Tomb Guard to finish. And this Lothern Sea Guard is regrouped, which doesn't have ammo, but these guys are not slouchy in melee. They're almost the equivalent of a spearman. They've got decent melee defense. You can see the Star Dragon here now. Gonna take some hits from Settra. The Star Dragon doesn't want any more of that at that point. Here comes the Necrotech. He has anti-infantry damage, should be quite well suited. Fight this, look at his whip there. It looks cool. Necrotech is such a cool unit. Don't see those as often as you would expect. The Dragon puts a beautiful charge on the Tomb Guards, as does Alarielle. Destroys their leadership. There's still 51 units remaining, but they got the crumbling started, while the Treeken managed to tank Settra. Final breath attack, and it does some pretty solid damage to Settra. Probably a little bit of friendly damage to the Treeken, but overall appears to have been an effective tool for the dragon, who then lands on the Tomb Guard and takes a big dragon crap all over them. The Tomb Guard are almost gone. Don't think they're going to last much longer in this type of fight. And really the Treeken have kind of become the MVP here, as they're able to contain Settra with their mass and their resistance. Just incredible amount of physical resistance that they put off here. Enough to get the Tomb Guard dead. And that just leaves the Necrotech and Settra, really. The Tomb Guard is near gone here. They'll be crumbled shortly. Man, this game is beautiful. Absolutely love it. Oof, there comes the Star Dragon. So Settra's in trouble. He's got to deal with the Star Dragon and Alarielle. But he is a tough unit, and he does deal a lot of anti-armor. It is an anti-infantry bonus, but... And I think he's probably got splash damage, I would think, but he can still do tremendous damage to these armored large units. He's just not specifically anti-large. So Alarielle is going to have to be quite careful here. She's using Arcane Conduit, probably attempting to summon up some healing. Obviously, she's used up her Star of Avalorn. Star Dragon's down to 815 hit points. Necrotech looks like he just got finished by a combined charge of Alarielle and the Dragon. Alarielle needs to get out of there. Spearmen have been terrified. The Treeken, no such thing. I am really impressed by the Treeken. I need to use these more often. Settra using his explosion magical ability there. You're going to see the Dragon and Alarielle now start to team up, and those Treeken just won't die. And that's going to be the real key to success here, is the fact that these Treeken just won't die. Settra still got 5,000 hit points. It's a lot of hit points. Really depends on what happens to Alarielle and what happens to the Dragon. The Dragon's down to 467. He was 815, so he must have taken a big hit from Settra. Just delivers one to Settra as well. Star Dragon packs a massive wallop. Ooh, look at that. Settra turning the chase. But he did not get his hit. Alarielle going to go in for the rear charge here. No damage. There was the damage, a little bit delayed. So down to 3,800 hit points to Settra. Star Dragon is wavering. Alarielle's getting low on health. The Treeken are finally starting to waver. Does Settra have the hit points to pull this off? It's going to be extremely close. The balance of power doesn't think so. It really just depends on what happens here. Star Dragon's down to 81. It's going to take another hit. Star Dragon's dead. Alarielle can't do a lot of damage. There's still 2,800 hit points. There's some Spearmen not being used here in the background that are very much needed. Ooh, this is an interesting question here. The Treeken have tanked all game. They don't have a chevron to their names, but I think they're still the Avalorn MVP in my mind here. Down to 2,300. It's only a matter of time till Settra lands some big hits here. I'm really quite shocked that Alarielle hasn't been hit already. She is doing tremendous damage to Settra for almost nothing in return. I don't know how she's doing it here. Maybe it's because the attention of Settra gets pulled back. Blessed Blade of Tra is now in effect. Earthblood, though. So, some clutch late game healing. I think that Earthblood's going to seal the deal. That was fire damage on Settra. I don't know how long he's had that, but he needed it badly against these Treeken. But there was healing there, and it's no longer in effect, and he's now down to 1,800 hit points. Here comes Alarielle with more attacks. Settra, yep, 1,800 hit points. He is in the fight of his life here. Atop his Kemrian War Sphinx. What an epic brawl. There comes Alarielle down to 1,600 hit points. The power bar, though, is fading against the Tomb Kings, and it's gonna, yep, that did it. Disintegration. That was a heck of a battle. Heck of a battle between Holy Pilgrim and Regina. Fantastic. Thank you for submitting that, both of you. It was fantastic. Love the battle. Love the armies. Regina will always keep you guessing with her high elf armies. It's interesting the way she can put stuff together. Really appreciate her passion for that. And then Holy Pilgrim, nicely played here. That Chosen of the Gods owned so many elves, and then Settra himself cleaning up quite a few. And an impressive performance from the Tomb Guard. And really, even though there's 0 kills here, the Carrion did a great job of tying down both Alarielle and her Star Dragon for quite a long time. Quite a long time. Now, there's a lot of kills on quite a few of the elf characters. Just remember that, I mean, that only means so much to the Tomb Kings, right? A lot of their army is meant as fodder. You kill them and give them healing and help them summon that Ushabti that they can use against you. Makes this very interesting indeed. A very fun battle again to the two of them. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. There will be more. I hope y'all are excited. I'm hoping that I'll get to hear something about Vampire Coast early content, maybe next week, because we'd be getting about a week away from launch next week. I have no idea yet. As soon as I hear something, as soon as I can say something, I will. I will get you all up to speed. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now. Hope to see you soon.